Hi, my name is David, and I try to play guitar. I'm not very good, as you can tell. One day, I saw a video of blues great Joe Bonamassa getting very technical about his guitar amplifiers. For a guitar player, that guy really knows his stuff about amps. He inspired me to learn more. But to really understand guitar amps, you need to take them apart and put them back together. I watched hundreds of videos. I read all kinds of books. From Craigslist and eBay, I bought a used soldering iron, some old voltmeters, an ancient oscilloscope, and other test gear. Eventually, I built an entire electronics lab. Now, I guess I'm sort of an amp mechanic. I fix other electronics too, and this is my journey. I figured I'd share so others can learn too. I hope you like it, and just as a disclaimer, be sure to consult an expert before working with electricity.
Hi, Dave the Amp Mechanic coming to you again from my amp lab in Boston, Massachusetts. And today I'm here to give you another video about making videos. Now, behind me you see this Marshall amplifier. It's a solid state amp. I normally don't fix those. That's the next thing I'm going to be fixing on the bench here. But I keep improving my tradecraft when it comes to making these videos, and I like to share some of the advancements, if you want to call them that, with you. The last one, of course, was how to make your own LED light panels to light up your studio or whatever it is you're shooting videos on. I have sort of two studios here. I have the Amp Lab, which is this area where I shoot my vintage amp repair videos, and I keep the lights kind of warm. And then over there I have my work studio where I shoot videos for my job, and I light that a little more brightly, more like daylight. So anyway, the reason I wanted to do this video today was talk to you a little bit about what I discovered when it comes to working with cameras and tripods and how to speed things up. You know, when it comes to making videos, they have this thing called a workflow. It's all of those things you do between when you start to shoot your video and when you have got the final product. And videographers like to do whatever it takes to shorten the workflow, make it more efficient. And one of the things I've just discovered is that if you can use what's called a standard tripod plate across all of your tripods and all of your cameras, it'll make life a lot easier. Now, I was going online looking for a new replacement camera plate to go into a tripod that I acquired at a very reasonable price. It was a Manfrotto tripod, and I got the head for it, the kind of fluid head that you use to move the camera around, for free. It was a 503 HDV Manfrotto head. A friend of mine who's a big video producer had an extra one. He just said, here. Now, it needs a few repairs, and it didn't come with a plate to connect the camera to the tripod head. And it didn't come with the legs of the tripod either. Sometimes videographers call those sticks, right? So I was very lucky. I found somebody who was willing to sell me a set of sticks for $50. Really nice Manfrotto sticks. So now I have a pretty much complete tripod short of the plate. I went on Amazon looking for a replacement plate for the 503 HDV head so that I could mount my camera to that tripod. And what I found is there are a lot of third parties that make these plates for a lot less money than the original part that you would acquire, the Manfrotto manufactured part. That runs about $70, and replacement plates from all these other manufacturers run about $9. Now, when I went and I was looking at those plates, I discovered that the same companies that make those plates also make the adapter that the plate fits into. And then you could take that adapter and you can put it on any tripod. And what I mean by that is the same part on a tripod that screws into the bottom of your camera, now it screws into the bottom of that plate, of the adapter, and then your plate goes into that adapter. And I'll show you how that works. But the benefit of this is if you have like 3 tripods and you buy 3 of those adapters with the plates, and the package comes for about $16, then you can really easily move your camera around from one tripod to the other without having to screw it and unscrew it every time you need to do that. Instead, what you do is you just mount the plate to the bottom of your camera, the standard plate that fits all of your adapters, and Then you put all of your adapters on these tripods, and then the camera with the plate on it will just go into any of those adapters. It's really fast and easy to do this, and it saves a lot of time when it comes to producing videos. So in my case, I have two tripods. I have that Manfrotto tripod with the 503 HDV head, and it needs that Manfrotto shaped plate. And then I went on Amazon, and for like $16, I bought the adapter with matching plate from a company called Neewer. I think that's how it's pronounced, Neewer. And I read the reviews on that, the listing for that product on Amazon, and it said in the like 1- and 2-star reviews that the plate does not fit. But as you'll see, I took a chance, spent the $16, and it fits pretty nicely. I mean, it's a pretty good fit, and now I can move my camera very easily between my various tripods without a whole lot of trouble. And this, of course, means that whatever the workflow is that it takes to get from the beginning to the end of any given video, it's going to go that much faster if I do have to move my cameras between tripods. Now, the thing to do, just remember, is you want to have these adapters on every tripod you own, and then you want to have the matching plate on every camera you own. That way everything all matches up. You can move any camera to any tripod, right? So let's take a look at the part that I'm talking about. Okay, so what do we have here? We have a few parts. The first part I'm going to talk about is the Manfrotto 503 HDV head for a tripod, for a Manfrotto tripod. Now, I don't know if you can see, it says right there, 503 HDV, okay? And this particular tripod is missing a special screw here that is important, and I'll explain what that's for in a minute. And also a knob, so, but it was a gift. This head, the heads are the most expensive parts of these higher end tripods, and so the fact that it was a gift was very helpful, and those repairs will not cost a whole lot of money to make. And the other thing it was missing was the plate that goes in here, right? Now, this part of the tripod head is sometimes called the shoe, and I'll explain why that's a good term to know. And then over here we have what's called a shoe as well, and this particular shoe, the insides of it exactly match the dimensions of the inside of this shoe here. Now, this shoe came from Neewer. The company is Neewer. I don't know if you can see that, Neewer, and it costs about $16 on Amazon. And one of the cool things about these shoes on the higher, not only on this, but here, is you can see that once you put the plate inside the shoe, it locks in. That's a safety feature so that the camera doesn't go flying off your tripod. And I'm sure some people have had that happen to them. So what's so special about this, which I bought on Amazon for $16? It comes with the shoe and the plate, and when you take this plate out of this particular shoe, you can put it right into this one here. There you go, and it locks in, right? And a lot of the reviews on Amazon said that this plate did not fit the Manfrotto heads. That's untrue. It fits nearly perfectly, and in fact, the reason it's a little loose and you want a little wiggle room is because the screw that goes through here, the one that I'm missing, actually tightens down that little silver thing that you see poking out right there in a way that secures the plate so it doesn't move. Now, in the case of this particular shoe, when you put this on here, it has the same thing. You spin this like that, right, and it tightens it down, and now you can see it's not moving at all, right? So why would you buy this, right? Well, the reason you would buy this complete assembly as opposed to just a new plate to go in here, because I needed the plate and that's how this whole journey started, is that let's say you have another tripod, and this is like a typical plate that comes out of a consumer tripod, right? This is the tripod that I used to use. Well, then what you do is you take the plate that came out of your little consumer tripod and you attach it to the bottom of this, right? And so here I'm just doing that real quick. See if we can get that done here. There we go. And now that you've got this plate on the bottom of the shoe, you can mount this shoe to your tripod. Now, let's say I have this head mounted on my Manfrotto tripod and this shoe mounted on my other little consumer tripod and this plate mounted to the bottom of a camera. Then I can very easily move the camera from this tripod to this one. Or if I have multiple cameras and I get multiple plates, then all of my cameras will fit all of my tripods and they go on in a matter of seconds, as opposed to every time I need to connect a camera to a plate. And by the way, this is the case for a GoPro. I don't have to get underneath there and, you know, turn the thumb screw and get that all figured out like that every time I want to do it. And here, just to kind of demonstrate what I'm talking about here, now imagine the camera's here. I can just put it on this plate, boom. Right? I can put it on this, on this head, on this tripod, if this head was connected to a tripod, or I can very easily put it on whatever tripod this particular shoe is connected to. And whoops, I gotta get it turned around here. There we go. Right? So now you're starting to see the power of having a standard across all your tripods, a standard fitting, if you will, for these plates. And you don't necessarily need to have a pre-existing Manfrotto head and tripod. You could just, if let's say you have 3 consumer tripods, you can buy this whole collection here, this plate and this shoe, for $16 on Amazon, put them on each of your tripods, and then it's really easy to move your cameras between the different tripods without too much trouble. Now, one other feature I want to point out about, or a couple other features I want to point out about this $16 product, which is just really a lifesaver. One of them is that it comes with 2 of these screws here, right? One is a 3/8 inch screw and one is a 1/4 inch. This is the 1/4 inch, and you see that very common threading on a lot of things like the GoPro. But then it also comes with 3/8 inch screw, and that's this one right here. And I've got it in this hole right here, and it comes out, right? It actually, when it came from Amazon, both screws were in the slot here. You only need one of them for whatever you're connecting to. So you take this little rubber stopper out, and whichever one you're not using, you just put it over here for safekeeping. And that's what I did. And then finally, the other cool feature is it's got a bubble, so you can make sure that if you're trying to level up your camera a little bit, the bubble will tell you whether you're level or not. So that's it. I mean, the idea that I can easily move my cameras between multiple tripods with almost no problem whatsoever, real lifesaver when it comes to the time it takes to shoot a video, particularly if you're going to another location and you have all your gear put away, you take it out, you want to get your cameras on your tripods right away. This makes life so much easier. It's really what the pros do. If you ever see like a professional camera person, they take their camera, you know, and they bang, it's on the tripod in a matter of seconds. There's no fussing around with screws or anything like that. So for $16 per package of these, you can't go wrong. If all you need is some extra, like if you get one of these and you need some extra plates, let's say you have 1 tripod but 5 cameras and you need 4 extra plates, the plates are only an extra $9. And again, really great fit here into the existing head that the existing Manfrotto head. Now these heads, by the way, just so you understand, there's a whole bunch of them that use this form factor from Manfrotto. So it's not just the 503 HDV, could be the 501, could be, there's a whole bunch of them. I don't know the names of all of them. Anyway, if you have questions, put them in the comments. Any thoughts on how I could even improve on the situation, let me know. Always looking for advice. And you know, here's an image of what the camera that I'm shooting this video with, the one that you're watching right now. Here's what that looks like when it's mounted on the plate on the Manfrotto tripod. And here's what it looks like when it's mounted on my other tripod using the substitute shoe. Very cool, very easy.